Alright. We should be good, it looks like. Hype match indeed. Let's do this. Interesting, Discord updated the Twitch thing to not take up as much space. That's like the one design choice they've made I actually agree with. But alright, now's not the time to worry about that. Let's get this one underway here. As big of a screen as we can. I happen to watch a stream of a stream again, but that is perfectly fine. We'll be watching this entire game from Pepper's perspective here today. As far as it goes, Hooky, of course, is my slight favorite in this matchup, but Pepper Fox is an amazing player, and Daisy supposedly has a very good matchup into Diddy. So this is a very scary match for Hooky. I would not be surprised if Pepper found a way to take this one home. It should definitely be a good one, for sure. Pepper was able to secure the first point. On that second point right there, Pepper blasts a double tap topspin right into Hooky. Hooky able to easily secure the point with a lovely net rush to follow up. Daisy on hard is an incredible character. Diddy also is pretty dang good on this court, though. A lot of characters, I mean, the characters that excel in this tournament are most of the hard characters, it turns out. The Toads, the Yoshis, the Daisies, the Diddies, the Shy Guys. All of them excel on that court, and that is giving them a chance to really shine in a way that they might not be able to otherwise. Hard court buffs all of them tremendously. Both these characters are rather good on it. Daisy probably gets a little more off of it than Diddy, though, I'll be honest. Daisy is a monstrosity on this court. But once again, Pepper hitting these greedy double tap topspins into Hooky, yet he gets away with it and is able to actually get a lunge on a follow-up shot after catching Hooky's follow-up to secure his second point of this game. That'll be a 30-15 lead for Pepper here. And Pepper once again just forcing lunges. Pepper in control at the moment. Pepper went for one lob earlier, it wasn't at the right time, but I'm of the opinion that lobbing is not really the best answer to net rush, it's the hard answer. What I mean by that is, sure, you can always back off net pressure, but if you can get something by without having to lob, you just secure a point yourself. And a lot of characters like Diddy on hard is not necessarily such a big threat that he's auto going to score for being up there, so I think it's the right call to not necessarily be lobbing all that much. Because lobbing is very dangerous if you get caught for it. And that's a big part of the whole net rush playstyle, is the advantage they get when they get you scared and lobbing. But if you can answer their net rush without lobbing, it actually becomes much easier to deal with. Not that Hooky's really even net rushing in the first place all that much, but Diddy does do it from occasion, for sure. Yeah, exactly. Slim is correct. You don't ever want to lob if you don't have to. And Pepper secures game one. Yeah, I definitely see the idea. I think Daisy is definitely favored in this. Hooky has to really show up if he wants to make something happen in this one. I don't know how heavily, but it at the very least does feel Daisy favored. Yeah, if you can get a full charge lob, sure, but I mean, they still need to be situational. There is times where lobs are good, but over-relying on them, I think, is bad even against net rusher players. I think it's actually something they want at some point. Alright, let's see what we got here, though. I actually didn't follow who scored that last point. I was on a bit of a tangent, but that's alright. Someone is up 15-0 in this game. Pepper is up 1-0 in the overall games. So, we're off to a good start here. Pepper playing excellently thus far. Very hard, well, for Hooky to make all too much happen, but overall, very defensive game. Hooky's going to need to be able to push up and find an opening if he wants to make something happen. But once again, he gets tripped up and not even trying to approach, almost trying to back up, he got caught on there. And Pepper takes a 30-0 lead. Pepper looks like he's in pretty dang good control early. That's gonna hurt though. That was a greedy level 1 lob. Hooky is ready for it and moves back, secures an easy point there. 30-15, and a quick lunge. Can Hooky equalize? Oh, what is... you hate to see that lunge, but Hooky is still able to secure the point in the end. It works out. We are 30-30 in this here second game. I'm pretty sure those slow shots are accidental. I don't think Hooky wants them most of the time. There's some times where they're okay, but most of the time not, yeah. Diddy has no power from the baseline. For the most part, yeah. Yeah, against, at least compared to, like, actual baseline volleyers, yeah. I mean, baseliners. With power baseliners. Or, you know what I mean. Any baseliner that actually has some decent shots, yeah, it's not enough. Because, like, his baseline slice is actually a pretty good shot, but not against someone who can baseline better than him. Not against an actual baseliner. It can help stabilize versus volleyers to some extent, but not enough to do anything versus a Daisy type. Daisy feels like she just has too much pressure in this one. We got a battle of angles going here. Who will end up the victor? Neither, as they both decide to back off. It is currently 1-0 Pepper in games, 30-30 game 2, Toaster. That is where we're at. Pepper seems like he is the favorite ever so slightly at the moment. Hookie's still showing he can compete for sure. Be interesting to see where this one goes. Nice catch by Hooky. Hookie's staying in these. Pepper has pressure. Pepper decides to back off, not finding any actual opening there. We have reset. Hooky now the one pushing up slightly, looking for something. Gets an unfortunate lunge on the approach, and that will secure Pepper a 40-30 lead in this here second game. One more, and Pepper will go up 2-0. Which is not what Hooky wants, I'm sure. I'm very intrigued, because if Pepper does win this matchup, I will be playing him tomorrow. And I believe I have some tricks up my sleeve, but we'll have to see. Pepper's Daisy is an amazing defensive wall, and as, I mean, he's showcased that he might even be, there's a very real chance Pepper could be the best Daisy in this mode. Solid win over Turnip King earlier in this tournament, and yeah, he's definitely got the ability, just doesn't play the mode enough to always prove it. Truly a beast on the character. Yeah, I think Toad, my Toad, or some other Shy Guys are most likely going to do it. I mean, I think David could probably pull it off of his Yoshi as well. But we're not discounting Hooky quite this early yet. Hooky's still in this, and I would not count him out. Although Pepper certainly feels like he has the advantage early. After Hooky earns a hard-fought point there, Pepper gets an instant one right back, puts himself right back to advantage. Hooky, at the very least, still not giving this game up easily yet, though. Still in this one. If he can get another point and keep him in deuce, he can at least challenge on this one. But that might be enough to secure, yeah. A nice down-the-line flat, and trips up Diddy and secures Pepper's second game here. Pepper looking like, that was a closer game, but it still feels like Pepper is just in control and Hooky is having to find some way to break that control. Hooky gets a trip up off the trip up, and that will secure him a point. He gets the drop. The drop will work. Daisy not quite fast enough to catch that one. Very nice. Good option from Hooky. Gets himself a 15-0 lead in this here third game. Hits a weak shot that I'm sure he didn't want. Able to catch the follow-up option, though. Great instant smash there. Sneaks it right by Pepper. Gives him a 30-0 lead. That's what he needs to get going here. He needs to get a solid game in. If he can get a solid game win here, he can start getting some momentum back on his side. Awkward trip up, and Pepper is able to choose the right punish. Very nice. 15-30. Hooky still leads game 3. Pepper up 2-0 overall. Hooky going for his patented hook shot. The same side double tap flat at net. Something everyone does realistically, but Hooky is taken to it very heavily. It doesn't always work with Diddy. Diddy, I'm still trying to figure out exactly. I've played a lot of Diddy lately. Me and Hooky have grinded our DDS matchup to hell and back, and I still cannot quite figure out exactly what the conditions are for Diddy to get a good net flat and not. Because it's like, half the time it's the slowest shot I've ever seen, and half the time it's untouchable. It's really weird, and I feel like both are right on top of net, so I'm not really sure what's making the decision. I haven't caught on to something. There's clearly something there, I'm just not finding it. Pepper with a nice secure there, brings him to 40-30, keeping himself in this game. He gets one more. Hooky will have to find 2 more points to get this advantage here. It might be ball height, but it doesn't feel like it. Maybe I'm just not noticing it enough. It might be ball height, but I feel like it hasn't felt that way. That's what I would think, but I feel like that hasn't been the case, but maybe I just haven't been paying enough attention. I'm gonna be honest, I can't 100% discredit it, but like, I'm used to that normally being the answer, so I feel like I would have caught on if that was the case, you know what I mean? But maybe I'm just missing something. It's very possible. Next time I play, I'll try and look into it a little more. I haven't kept up on like following which one it is. No bagel. Hooky gets his first game there, definitely should acknowledge that. Hooky able to secure a game in this one, gets himself back into it with a 2-1 lead for Pepper now. Alright, solid down the line, Hooky catches it, nice double tap topspin's not going to quite secure anything though. Pepper defending everything wonderfully here. Goes for the single tap flat. We're getting an angle battle. Who's going to win this one? Hooky backs off at it. Very fair. Daisies are just a little bit better, I think. Most likely going to win that in the end. There's that one, the weaker flat right there. just so easy to cover when it's like that, but sometimes it's just not. And I don't know. And maybe it is just ball height. I feel like I should have noticed that, but maybe I just didn't. I'm not gonna say that's not possible. And Pepper gets a nice trip up on with a lunge there. 30-0 lead. Hooky at least got the last game, but this one feels like it's back in Pepper's control at the moment. Alright. Daisy moving up the T, but not really getting farther enough up to actually make something happen. Just kind of playing some neutral, not really putting any pressure on, but still staying here. Both players actually playing a bit of T-volley for a second before backing back off because both of them realize they're not really gaining much for it. Pepper with a nice double tap topspin, tries to make something happen, not quite enough. And down the line, I like the topspin. I feel like Pepper could be getting a lot more out of single tap topspins right now, but at the same time, he's winning, so I'm not going to say it's terrible. I just feel like he's had a few opportunities where Hooky absolutely wouldn't have been able to cover him, and I feel like he hasn't been hitting them off those single tap flats really enough. Small nitpick though, and definitely one that doesn't need to be taken too seriously when he's up in the game. Playing excellently thus far. Both back to playing some baseline here. Daisy trips up Diddy with baseline flat, able to secure another point. That will give him a 40-15 lead in this here fourth game. One more point and Pepper will be taking a 3-1 lead. He is at least on the board from the last game, but he would love to find a way back in this one and even this game up instead of giving Pepper a bigger and bigger lead, of course. Now would be the time to start making something happen if possible. We're not at do or die yet, though. We're not at the danger point. We're not even halfway through the game, in fact. No matter how long this game goes, we are not halfway done yet. So we are still in a fine spot. Hooky gets a nice lob, catches Pepper pushing up a little too hard. If Hooky can get one more here, he can force a deuce, which would be nice for him for sure. Some nice baseline battling happening here. Pepper choosing to actually focus more on slices while Hooky is actually using more flats, which is typically the inverse of what I expect from these two. I really do. I've come to realize the true value of the baseline slice in baseline dittos, in which that it makes your opponent get weaker shots. So I really like Pepper going for that. It's interesting that Hooky is doing less so, especially in that last point. He was doing a lot of other options. Realistically, when you're hitting down the line, I've almost come to terms with the fact that I like single tap slice better most of the time. Yeah, lunge cheese could do a lot for Hooky, I do agree. Diddy's lunge is one of the best in the game, near Koopa levels of nonsense. Can really secure a lot. Doesn't quite have the angle of Koopa, which is important, but the distance it gets, and it still provides enough of an angle to where you can actually make some incredible things happen with some lunge nonsense. Great double tap topspin by Hooky is going to secure him this point. That was a great shot, and trips up Pepper, just barely gets himself back to deuce. Excellent right there. We are back to 40-40 here. Hooky not letting this game go easily for sure. Having a battle of slices here. Pepper backs up, starts hitting some flats from the baseline. Of course, there's value in hitting a faster shot occasionally. There's definitely reasons for both. I've just come to realize a lot more value in the baseline slice, I guess is what I'm really trying to say with that whole tangent. There's definitely more value to it than I realized, and it's really good when you feel like your opponent is getting an advantage for just slowing them down a bit and making you feel a little more comfortable in the matchup. Interesting net. I don't know if it mattered or not. It might have as the ball bounced earlier. I think yeah, I'm pretty sure it bounced earlier, which allowed Pepper to get a cheeky topspin, allows him to secure the point. Nets happen, and it's unfortunate sometimes. Once again, Pepper advantage in this here third game. Or fourth game? Fourth game, my bad. Yes. Hooky is slowly advancing here, not really able to make anything happen, backs right back up. Both of them trying to find something. You've got to love the baseline battles where both players are actively trying to take a step forward. That is when true baseline becomes interesting for me, when the baseline players are actually rewarded for moving past the baseline, and I feel like this matchup is a matchup where they are being rewarded for it. It's fun to see them try to find their openings, move back and forth, try and find their windows, and all of the fun baseline stuff that comes along with that. Diddy able to survive that there shot. The lunge was not enough to force Pepper to lunge. We have reset to neutral. It's excellent here. Needs to be hit off a slice to be good. Maybe? I mean, yeah, generally, for when you're up like that, it's better to have a slice, but it's not. I don't know if it's too Yeah, seeing characters that actually are incentivized to advance are definitely much more fun to watch baseline. And this is definitely a battle of baselining here. Both of them move up, but that's, in a way, what baselining should be. Yeah, Pepper's defense is looking near unbreakable right now. Hooky's also got some exceptional defense going on, for sure. This is a great defensive match right now, but I definitely do agree with David. Yeah, you're kind of right. Diddy doesn't have a ton of offense to break a baseliner like this who's just playing back. Pepper is playing safe and is just applying more pressure naturally. And how does Diddy really get anything started? I'm not 100% sure. I mean, unless we get some lunge cheese going like you're saying, if you can get a weird interaction going, you can... If you can force into a weird interaction where both of you are scrambling all over the place, it's actually Diddy favored, which can be caused by that, which is interesting. Spike, Daisy, Birdo are the worst defenders, especially against each other. You are 100% correct, yes. And Daisy at least has a little more ability to move up, but does not have to. And Pepper is somewhat trying to, although at this point Pepper is kind of locking into playing back more and just being an unbreakable wall. Which is why this point seems to be stabilizing so long. Hooky needs the ultimate grind. I feel like Diddy loses the ultimate grind here, though. I feel like Diddy needs to be the one to advance, right? Like, Daisy should win just by patience, I'm pretty sure. Daisy's shots are overall better. Diddy's a little faster, sure, but Daisy's got a little extra range. And Diddy's backhand is so jank, I feel like you're much more likely to have a slip-up with Diddy. Yeah, I think Diddy is the one who has to make the moves in this matchup to genuinely win. But that's so hard to do, and, I mean, Pepper has been punishing Hooky excellently for approaching in a lot of the situations thus far this game. This point is looking like we may be starting to... Hooky looks like he's trying to find some recovery here. Pepper has decided that playing back is the right move. We are getting more and more defensive here. This may become a grind of a game, for better or worse. You're right, Joey. But that doesn't mean grinding is going to do anything better. The grind isn't going to do anything better. Daisy still wins in the grind, I think. I'm pretty confident. I would almost say Daisy wins in the grind harder. So, yeah, lob was good. Daisy's just tall. And there's always, yeah. You can have a good lob and it be caught. I didn't actually see it, but I assume it was probably a fine call. Like, it's better to try and make something happen than just die to a matchup you can't win for not taking a risk, but... Yeah, exactly. He has to really find his moments, and he's trying. You can see, like, right here, he looks like he's going for it again. But it's really hard to find that moment, and Pepper playing so excellently right now. He gets the catch, but he doesn't pull the angle the whole way, doesn't get his movement off in time to be able to score. Still ends up securing the point in the end, though. Diddy topspin is insultingly bad. Yeah, it's pretty dang rough. It is not a good shot. Yeah. Hooky staying in this one, and then next point, once again, it's amazing how this always seems to happen. You have an advantage state for so long, for 20 minutes sometimes, and then the next point, they get back, and then they just instantly give one up and go right back to disadvantage. It's an MTA classic right there. MTA players have shown incredible resilience on match points and games overall, yet for some reason it does not carry over past that. It's really an impressive thing on how consistent it is throughout the community. On how consistently people have clutch factor that just turns off once the clutch situation is gone. It's actually incredible. Rough lunge, but not rough enough. Actually trips up Daisy. This is what we were talking about. Getting a lunge can actually be good at times, but in the end slips up with a little bit of a greedy double tap topspin, I would say. That was easy for Daisy to catch. Daisy takes advantage and is able to secure the point, but I like the play up until that double tap topspin. It's really awkward for Diddy, and you're almost right. It almost is better for him to lunge, but that's not really a reliable game plan either, I feel like, to try and go for that. So it becomes a really weird hole of... I don't really know what the plan for Diddy is, to be honest. I feel like Daisy just has this in control, and Diddy has to find a good catch, a good creative approach to make anything happen, which is possible, but not likely to happen more often than Daisy just finds something, either stopping it or just playing neutral in general. Good catches by Diddy here. The lunge, that lob is going to secure a 3-1 lead for Pepper Fox. It was a grindy game, but the grind did not work out any better for Hooky. And, well, realistically, I think Pepper actually initiated the grind more than Hooky, to be fair. Although Hooky did go along with it for quite a while, and may have to continue doing so. But really, it was Pepper who started the grind, I feel like, and a great advance there once he got the pressure, secures the point. Excellent play by Pepper on that one for sure. I like the instant topspin. It's an aggressive option. Could make something happen. What's he going to take? He's going to take the sharp angle. Gets himself in a great advantage state. Catches that topspin beautifully. We got a slow shot battle. The single tap slice essentially resets. Here we are again. What did you miss? Pepper. The game match has gone infinitely more grindy, and it is favoring Pepper. Oh yeah, you weren't even gone that long. Where are you? Pepper got his third game win. It's now 3-1. It has been very little. It's true. Does anyone get into 5-minute points more than Hooky? In modern days, probably not. Great shot by Hooky there. Great topspin will secure him a 30-15 lead here. David would be the only possible one. I don't know how often it still happens. But David would be the other answer, it's true. Yeah. Yeah, it's looking like this is going to be a long one. We're already at 20 minutes in this game, and it is, oh, the weak Diddy shot. Nice, secure, or not even nice, that's just an unfortunate Diddy tragedy there. But Pepper gets a nice secure on that one right there to get a 40-30 lead in this game. I don't know if that can fully be said, Slim, simply because you've had 40-minute games with Joey. So you could argue Joey was also the one initiating the stall, but you're participating. Alright, 40-40 in this year 5th game. 3-1 lead overall for Pepper, I believe, is the situation still. Let's see if Pepper can close out another one, or if Hooky can get a nice win. He's got the deuce right now. He really wants this win to be so live in this game super effectively. Oh yeah, Joey, I don't think Joey's touching Koopa anytime soon. We're just got some baselining going on here. Not too much to talk about in this here match at the moment. Just gotta hope something good starts to happen from it. Nice single tap top spin. The lunge. Okay, we're alive. The net may have actually almost benefited Diddy. It might have actually benefited Diddy. I'm not fully sure. But Pepper is able to fully control through Daisy's excellent angles and secures a game point for his 4th game potentially here. Let's see where we go from here. Pepper in complete control at this point. Hooky really needing to find some kind of rhythm outside of just playing back. I don't really know what the answer is for Hooky, if I'm being honest. This is a rough matchup, it seems. Just looking at the options, I don't really know what Diddy does versus Daisy. But as on top of that, Pepper is playing absolutely phenomenally, both on offense, but especially defense. Pepper is not allowing Hooky to get anything started whatsoever, and it's really nullifying anything Hooky tries to do and making him want to stay back because he's not getting anything for naught. But as I say that, Pepper makes his first mistake in quite a while, slips up on a shot that should have been easily caught, allows for another deuce in this here game. I would not believe so, but I'm also a big doubter on hitting the center in general, so. But Daisy has the angles, I'm pretty sure, to say no, because that's my main issue. Yeah, I don't think it would accomplish anything for you. A weak shot right there. Will secure Hooky the point in the end after a nice drop, I believe, right there. Gets a lunge out of Pepper, secures him the point, advantage to Hooky, I think for the first time in this game, maybe not. I think he might have been leading at the start of this one, but that's okay. Let's see if Hooky can close this one out. Daisy staying comfortably at T here. Pepper playing full T Daisy, maintaining. Not much Diddy can really do to break it. It doesn't look like at the moment. Just slice after slice. Eventually, Hooky gets panicked, tries to lob, and it doesn't result in any negatives, so it's fine in the end. He's able to catch the option, but a slight advantage for Pepper for a minute. Pepper taking full net control, won't really shoot. Hooky miles back. Pepper with heavy control right now, but backs off, is unable to find a secured point here. Alright. Back to being a reset. Hooky almost moving up a little bit, but no, we've fully reset at this point. Pepper back to T for a shot. Doesn't see an opening, moves back. Hooky doing a similar dance as he's moving around. Actually, mostly staying baseline at the moment. Not really looking for something. Pepper tries to approach, gets Hooky forces a lunge, but it's not enough as Pepper is able to catch the level 1 lob since it was not able to attain level 2, and the point continues on. Even if Diddy's able to force a lunge at baseline, it doesn't feel like Diddy has any kind of tool to close out the point. Needs to be farther up to close it out. He cannot really secure from baseline unless Pepper makes a very bad mistake. Yeah, Hooky getting drop blocks on net could definitely benefit him a good amount, yes. Finding a secure there would be good, and I feel like he's had a few chances and even caught the ball and not secured the point, which is rough. Back to baseline here. These points are getting grindier and grindier. The two are locking in more and more, not wanting to give an inch here. Not willing to take too many risks. Pepper definitely taking more at the moment, and it's actually working in his favor for doing so, I feel. But Diddy with his lunge, forcing a lunge out of Daisy as well. And I have to admit, after seeing that angle, I'm not sure that I should be saying Diddy's angle isn't absurd. That looks pretty absurd. Maybe not quite Koopa level, but it might be Koopa level, actually. I did not... I mean, I've known it's good, but that looked absurd there. I need to look at it a little closer, for sure. But Diddy's flop was a famous tool of his. Possibly his most famous tool at this point in this mode, actually. But with that, Hooky was able to secure himself yet another deuce in this here 4th game. Refusing to go down and just trying to grind this match out as hard as possible. And hard is making that rather hard indeed. Gotta see what either of them can do to break this back open, as Hooky's defense seems to be locking in as well now. Neither player seems to really be able to make much happen. Pepper definitely still advancing more, but not enough to make a huge difference. As Hooky is able to cover pretty much everything Pepper is going for from the baseline. I still just don't know what Hooky's actual win con is by doing that, though, which is my main concern. I love that shot. I'm actually amazed that Diddy didn't trip up because of his bad backhand on that one, but he does not. Point resets. Excellent defense, but Pepper doesn't let him get anything in response, so we are still just back to neutral here. Pepper moving up to some T play here, looking to try and find some kind of advantage. Rough lunge there, but he should be fine. Gets the trip up, but Diddy lunge is able to keep Pepper from being able to reach it and close it out, and in the end, that lob will secure the point. Hooky will get advantage yet again. Excellent play right there. The Diddy lunge really coming in handy. With Hooky now having advantage after a nice couple of points, can he close this game out once and for all, bring us to a 3-2 match overall, or will Pepper claw back into this one again and not let this game end? This has been quite a deuce here for sure. Rough trip up from Pepper. Ball goes straight out of bounds. That will be a second game win for Hooky. 3-2 overall. Hooky's still very much in this. This is looking like an hour-long match indeed, unless something revolutionarily changes very quickly. Especially considering the first few games were so fast. This is not looking like it's going to end fast here. We are already closing in on close to 30 minutes. My stream has been up for 30 minutes. I think the match started 2 or 3 minutes in the stream. So we are approaching 30 minutes, and it is a 3-2 game thus far. If this game was to go to tiebreak, this could very realistically go an hour and a half, which is really a dangerous thing to hear. But it is what it is. I'm free. You're free, hopefully. We'll be here. We'll be able to force a lunge there, should secure this point, but Daisy is able to save that one, and we are just going to reset here. Both players still playing T at the moment. Pepper going for a greedy approach. Oh my god, Pepper catches the single tap flat. Hooky does not get a double tap. Pepper able to catch it and actually secures the point in the end. How did that happen? The single tap killed him. I don't even think it needed a lob. I mean, a lob was probably the right choice, but a double tap flat would have got by before Pepper could have recovered. He just hit a single tap. That's so unfortunate. It wasn't a single tap? Oh, maybe I'm crazy then. I swear that was a single tap. Then yeah, I guess a lob was needed. Fair enough. Alright. That, I believe Hooky just got himself on the board for this game. 30-15 lead for Pepper. 3-2 overall for Pepper. Pepper's still slightly in advantage, but Hooky feeling like he's starting to find ways to get some points, albeit they take quite a lot of time. I'm pretty confident that was a single tap, but I could be wrong. Alright. Hooky moving up a little bit, but Pepper not really allowing anything to happen. Moves back out. Can one of them make something happen? Hooky looking like he's starting to get a little more aggressive again, but I don't know where he actually finds something from it. A great slice there with the curve, though, able to make a nice secure. The Diddy drop, a classic that hasn't been being used too much. Secures Hooky a point, brings us back to 30-30 here. Very nice. Right back to 30-30. No game looks like it's going to go easily at this point. It seems like this game will continue to be a grind. Let's see if any more ridiculous deuces can happen like that last one, or if we will get some faster games going through here. That is the question. Nice catch from Hooky, but no real chance of securing anything off of it. This is quite a battle here. Both players just defending so well, but not much happening past that. Hard to make offense happen when your opponent is so committed to defense, and both of them are committing to that defensive line. Single tap slice, Pepper going for some double tap topspins, trying to find something. Slips up there on after the, I believe that was the slice that tripped him up, and that will secure Hooky at this point. Hooky can get one more. This game will actually be tied overall, which would be a pretty big change here. That was a great play by Hooky indeed. Let's see if Hooky can clinch out this game and bring us to a tied match, or if Pepper can bring this one back, bring us into another deuced game, and eventually come home with it and give himself yet a bigger lead in this overall match. Nice catches all around. Both players moving up a little bit. Pepper's the one who goes for the reset. I like the lob on the lob. Pepper's ready to catch it. Hooky trips up. A great topspin in response. And yeah, that will tie us up at a 3-3 game. A much faster game than the previous one at the very least. We are now officially tied and officially at essentially the halfway point. Yep, halfway to tiebreak. This match still got quite a ways to go, most likely. Oh, the Diddy backhand working for Pepper, working in Pepper's favor right there. The Diddy backhand working heavily in Pepper's favor right there. Very nice. And with that, he's going to go for the down the line. That should actually secure this point for Pepper. Pepper getting some nice back-to-back plays. Messing with Diddy's backhand, I've found, has actually been extremely important for figuring out how to deal with the character. Obviously, it's not one of those characters where you want to hit to it every shot, but you want to plan your offensive options to where they will target the backhand at the most crucial moment. And Pepper is doing that excellently right now with these double tap topspins. Secures himself 3 in a row very fast. Some of the fastest points we've seen in a long time, and has now a very good spot here. And with that, yeah, Pepper is pushing up a little more, using more and more topspins. I'm loving it. I think topspins are the answer to breaking matches like these a lot of the time. And with that, Pepper takes his lead back 4-3 after a very, very dominating game that feels like it's got momentum back on his side pretty heavily at this point. Let's see if Hooky can get himself back in. That was an amazing, amazing game by Pepper right there. Excellently played all around for sure. That net's gonna hurt. That net completely destroys Hooky. Pepper gets basically a free point for that one. You hate to see it. I also agree that I think Daisy wins the rush game, but my main point was in the baseline game, Daisy's going to win as well, so I mean, it's... You just have to hope your opponent's not going to rush, or you need to rush faster. Because rush game versus rush game isn't really a relevant thing all too much. Like, you're not normally rushing at each other like madmen for the most part. Hooky needs to find his opportunities when Pepper is back, I think is his best chance, but that's still just not being shown to be all too reasonable of a thing to request. But Hooky has made things happen in this match, even though it feels like he is outmatched by character alone. It at the very least is not easy for Pepper to score either. Both players have to really work for their points. That was a great drop from Hooky there. Those drops are realistically what is going to keep him getting something. There's the hook shot right there. Secures Hooky a nice point. 40-15. We can get right back to tiebreak after a dominating previous game by Pepper. This one hasn't felt quite as dominating, but some nice plays back to back. And one more here. There it is. That's a tie game again. That actually ended up being rather dominant from Hooky in the end. Excellent finish right there. Gets the call on the double tap topspin. 4-4. They are both starting to turn on the aggression again, it feels like. Great topspin there by Pepper. Not willing to play into Hooky's arms this time. Hooky has secured quite a few points this game off just hitting double tap topspin down the line punishes, honestly. It's happened more times than Pepper would probably like to admit. So taking the cross-court angle is definitely, especially after what happened in the last one, was definitely the right choice, and it worked out. Yeah, but this game is now looking like it is back to being a lot more aggressive. Let's see if that can keep up, or if both players will eventually go back to their hidey hole. Both players still look like they're trying to push up. This point is taking a little longer. We're back to baseline versus baseline here. Let's see if things will start moving along again, or if they will be, There they go. They're both advancing. Diddy with the lunge is working in his favor. Yep, the Diddy lunge always comes out ahead, basically. If both players are lunging, Diddy is going to have the better time with it. Great secure by Hooky there. 15-15. Tie game overall yet again. Perfectly tie, I believe. Pepper's, yeah, Hooky got the last game, so yeah, perfectly tied game here. Very nice. 15-15, and we're moving along a little faster. The last 3 games or so have happened in about 8 minutes, as opposed to that one game that took like 10 on its own. So we are starting to get somewhere. Might take him 15. So if they can continue this more pressure-based style. Honestly, at this point, the pressure-based style does not seem to be favoring either of them more. It more feels like they're having momentum swings as they read into what each other are doing, and then the other fixes it out, and they just keep cycling through this cycle. But I think overall, both of them seem to be having some success with this here more aggressive matchup. We'll see if they're willing to stay in that more aggressive mindset, or if things will eventually reset to being a little safer. Right now, Hooky definitely trying to make something happen. Pepper gets the down-the-line topspin. This time, Hooky's not calling it. It does secure the point for Pepper. Back to 30-30. Once again, a perfectly even game. If this is looking like it could be our tiebreak match once and for all. And how cool it would be to have it happen in winners. Nice shots all around here. We're back to some baseline and Hooky trying to make some kind of advantage. That is what the fates foretell, David. It will be a 7-5. That is what the fates foretell. But we will see. Can fate be broken today? That is the question. Will this be the tiebreak match we have been awaiting for so long? Hard to know at this point. But at the very least, both players feeling a little more defensive again here. This is feeling a little more defensive. Diddy's moving up. Hooky finally moving up again. Goes for lobs that I wasn't a huge fan of, but survives for it. We're fine. We're resetting. We're right back to where we were. At least a play was attempted. That was good. Pepper now trying to move up, make something happen. Basically T-camping, not willing to commit all the way, which is respectable. Interesting net there. Doesn't get either player fully ahead, but the full exchange does end with Pepper scoring. Whether or not the net is fully to blame is questionable. It definitely started that sequence. But that sequence could have worked out in either player's favor, I feel. Both of them had their chance. Pepper eventually came out ahead in the chaos. And nice net rush by Hooky there. That will bring us back to Deuce. He gets a nice little advantage. Yeah, the lob off the lob was death for him there, for sure. Hooky moving up again, still playing a little forward. Okay, he's fully reset now, but didn't find the opening he was looking for. He is definitely looking more aggressively now, though. I like the topspin. That will work. Yeah, I had a feeling that looked like it should actually trip up Daisy. Hooky in advantage. This could be Hooky's first lead of the match, I believe, if he can get this next point here. But will Pepper allow that to happen easily? Does not look like it. Pepper quickly secures the Deuce right back with a nice rush of his own. Nice trip up by Pepper there. Hooky able to secure a battle of fast shots for sure. Hooky back in advantage indeed. This is becoming quite a match here. Rough instant trip by Pepper. Not enough to matter though. Hooky not ready to follow it up. You can't blame him for that. You don't expect your opponent to lunge there. Hard to be ready with a correct punish when that happens. Some nice weak shots back to back to back. Let's see who will make move first here. Both players moving up the T and then backing down. Hooky now truly advancing. Pepper with the great outside flat. That's what I was looking for. Just gets a lunge, but unable to secure the point due to a level 1 lob instead of level 2. Probably should have hit another shot. Hard to know for sure. But unfortunate right there. You would have thought this point should have been secured for how hard Hooky approached, but it did not. Hooky able to get back into this one. Back to some nice baseline neutral here. We'll see who breaks it open here first. Who is willing to make a move first in this one. In what has definitely been the grindiest match of DDS that at least I have streamed thus far. I do not know if any others have showcased this, but it is definitely it's an interesting one. As far as baseline grind matches go, this has not been a terrible one, I will say. There's been enough approaching and enough of interest to make it remain interesting, but it has definitely had some awkward points of obnoxious pain. But regardless of that, Hooky secures a lovely point there. Brings himself the 5-4 lead for the first time in this game. Hooky has a game lead. Pepper now needs to get another one to get us back to even. Hooky's looking to get one more to close this one out now before it can go late. Yeah, Hooky did play that game excellently in the end there, after the last 2 points there. Here now, what's up? This game is currently 5-4 Hooky, and it has been a bit of a grind fest. Both players are getting a little more aggressive here now, but there was a point in the middle where there was absolutely no attempts at offense happening. We are getting back to some offense, though. Both players have shown some nice stuff at times. It has definitely been a back-and-forth match. Pepper felt like he had the control early. Hooky has brought it back heavily and is actually now in the lead. So we definitely are seeing an interesting game here. If Pepper is to win this one, we'll get at least 2 more games. If Hooky wins this one right here, it will be over. I like the idea from Pepper, but it gets punished pretty hard. He had to make a call there. He hadn't been doing that option, but Hooky was ready for it regardless. Ready for Pepper to finally make a mix-up he had not been making recently. A respectable call. Back to some baselining neutral here. We'll gotta see who is willing to make a move first. Earlier it was Pepper being more aggressive. It feels like Hooky is definitely the one in a driver's seat lately. He has been the one making more plays. An unfortunate lunge there, though, is not enough to end the point. The follow-up shot from Daisy, not strong enough from T there. Diddy definitely able to catch that and finish it off. A great rush from Hooky puts him up 30-0. All he needs is 2 more points and this game could be over. Pepper needs to start making something happen now. 1 more point and he will be on match point. He's one more mistake remaining and then this one will be down to no more chances. And there it is. Hooky now on 40-0 lead match point. No more chances for Pepper. He can make no more mistakes, at least for the next 3. He's got to make it happen now. Can Pepper make something wonderful happen? Good net rush from Diddy, good net rush from Hooky, but not quite able to secure. Diddy does not quite get the angle to secure there. Hooky running away with momentum for sure, but Can Pepper make something happen? That's a good shot. The single tap topspin, I think, would have just secured it. This will work regardless, I hope. That topspin better finish. That'll work. That's fine. As long as he maintains momentum here, he will be taking a point. Needs 2 more to get himself out of do-or-die situations, which is what he is most definitely looking for. Being in these situations is never where you want to be. But as was acknowledged earlier this game, when you need a clutch situation, MTA players have shown historically to be pretty dang good in those situations. Comebacks are more likely than not in a lot of matches, especially in these deuce moments. Players do not go down without a fight at the top level. Solid shot right there. Diddy slowly approaching here. Pepper tries to find something, move up. Not quite enough. Hooky trying to call a lob there for sure. Still alive for Pepper, goes for it, and Hooky gets the lob catch, was ready for it, was waiting for it, had so much pressure, knew Pepper would have to give in at some point. Great game, 39-36 in the end, and that will be Hooky securing it.